Hello everybody, this is Christopher Henderson of the Super Soy Bros doing another version of Word of Christopher Henderson. I did this series about 2.5 years back talking about WWE 13. This time I'm going to talk about the current state of WWE gaming. I'm going to talk about WWE 2K15, and I'm going to talk about what they should do in WWE 2K16. Now, I'm going to start with WWE 2K15. This game came out in two separate dates. The 7th gen, which is the last gen version, came out the normal time window of late October of 2014, while the next gen version, current gen I should say, came out in November of 2014. Now, this is the first WWE game to be on an 8th gen console. And when the game first was first publicized, it was amazing to see how it looked for next gen. And 2K really did a good job on doing, for the visuals and all that. But there's a few things that bothers me about this game, both versions in general. Well, first part, the old gen version, they removed a lot of features that was in 2K14 in other previous titles. They remove things such as the custom music. You can't give your wrestler custom music. They removed a lot of entrance animations. They limited the game, and that pissed off a lot of people. And everyone, and then the next gen version comes out. I didn't get the game until last month. I got it in January. And when I played it, I was quite disappointed, but at the same time, I'm not too disappointed because I can understand they're trying to overhaul the gameplay, they're trying to overhaul the whole thing. But the thing is about WWE 2K15 is that they were not going to really release it in November. They were going to wait until the following year. It was going to wait until the beginning of 2015, the second quarter of 2015, to release the next gen version, so they can fix all the bugs and add, more things. What came as a shock, which to me was a very poor, marketing strategy, is to tell everyone about the game later on, just about a couple of days before the game came out. Like, the next gen version, you can't even freaking create your own arena. The old gen version, you can. The next gen, the current gen version, the create wrestlers, the create a wrestler is so limited. You can't create. You don't have a lot of things to use for your create a wrestler. In the old gen version, you do. It's just, the old gen version is basically WWE 12.4. I can say it's between WWE 12 and 2K15 for previous gen. It's basically the same game, just with a little bit of updated textures and updated roster. Nothing different. Next gen version is a different game, and what I don't understand is that the game is lacking so many features. The next gen version, it's sad. Like, when I played it, I was disappointed because it had so much potential, but hopefully in 2K16 they could add more, than what they have now. Now, for 2K15, the showcase modes, in my opinion, the only two that, the regular showcase mode, the only one I like the best is the one with Triple H and Shawn Michaels. The 2011 showcase mode is too current. it's just too current. Like, I have no problem with the current product. Some people have their preferences, but I think it was too early to have a showcase based on John Cena and CM Punk, knowing that the CM Punk left the WWE. It just made it was just difficult, you know, and it was just a poor choice to pick, you know, as a rivalry. I think they should have had a better rivalry, like the Ruthless Aggression era. You know, besides the Shawn Michaels and Triple H, they shouldn't have had, you know, they shouldn't have had different, you know, like, let's just say if they had a showcase of, you know, a tag team showcase, you know, Rated RKO versus D-Generation X. That would have been a good showcase. But I'm going to get back to what they should put in 2K16. I will discuss that. That will be one of my preferred teams to be in the showcase mode in next year's game. But I think, you know, the John Cena CM Punk, it was a good feud, don't get me wrong, but it's just too current. It's like, no one's going to go for that. And then the DLC showcase mode, I'm mixed about it because I'm happy that Mark Henry is in a showcase mode. It's good that they're showcasing him because he, you know, in my opinion, he deserves it. But they do it in the current era instead of doing, like, they should have mixed it up. They should have had some Mark Henry matches from the Attitude Era, then on to the Ruthless Aggression Era, and then to the PG era or whatever era you call it. You know, that would have been better than what they did. They don't have to do storyline and all that other stuff. Just do match after match after match. That's perfect. Instead of just, you know, but I you know, in my opinion, it's still not bad. It's still good. And then, you know, the showcase mode with the Warrior and Hulk Hogan is, you know, I'm looking forward to that one. That one's going to be good. But I think in 2K16, they should, you know, improve a lot of things. And what really gets me is how they don't have a creative diva. That really pissed off a lot of people because divas are very important in the WWE game. And for you to not create a diva, it's just, it hurts you. It's like you don't, it's a boring universe mode. I don't play universe mode. I don't play some of these extra modes. I just play the story mode and I play regular matches. I'm not used to it because I haven't, like, you know, me personally, I didn't, after SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, I really didn't touch any other wrestling game until WWE 13 because I just didn't like it. I didn't like the games. They just didn't interest me like they did in the past. And even though they had good modes, it's just it was too little too late because back then all these superstars in the PG era, I have nothing against them, but they weren't as popular, you know, as the guys in the Ruthless Aggression era or the Attitude era. They had star power, but it's not their fault. It's WWE limiting them to, you know, the ability. But that's my intake on WWE 2K15. Now, WWE 2K16, you know, what I want to see and what improvements I would like to see in this game is that if they do have Create an Arena, I hope and pray that they add the Raw from 2001 in it. I don't understand how the hell in all these games, WWE 13 and onwards, for the last gen, they make all these Raw arenas and all these SmackDowns, but they skip over a Raw arena from late 1999 to 2002. I don't get the logic in that. And you have, you know, and also if you do create an arena, let us have the chance to move the ramp or, you know, like remove the ramp completely. Have a floor arena or a ramp arena. Give us a choice. You know, give us more arena options, more stages, not just these genetic, retarded looking stages that people don't care for. You know, I want to see more arenas from 1999, 2000 onwards. You know, stuff like that. You know, have a create arena mode that you're able to edit your own crowd, your own, sets, everything, from the ground up, instead of just having this stage template, pick your own crowd. The only thing you can do is just edit your freaking ring. That's what it is, basically. The only thing you're doing is adding a stage and pasting on logos on a Titantron and ring and editing the ropes. That's it. I mean, it's good. It was a good feature. I'm glad they, that's what really drew me back into WWE gaming, is the WWE 13. That revolutionary, revolutionary stuff that they did in that game. Even though the game, the AI system sucked, the game added a lot of features, but I think that they, if they add more features to Create an Arena and make it better than it is, people will appreciate it. Now, my thing with WWE 2K15 is that they removed some match types, which was dumb. Like I said, they removed a lot of things, but like I said, a lot of people don't realize that they have to take baby steps. They're trying to overhaul the game. It may take another 1 or 2 games to fix the problem, but it's gonna take at least another, it's gonna take another game. Next year's game may not be as good as we expect, because like I said, like a lot of people say, they gotta build up, they gotta take baby steps. So we may not get a good game next year either. We may have to wait until late 2016 to get a good game. We may have to wait until WWE 2K17, for a very good fluent game. Who knows? Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe we get one sooner than later. But but at the same time, hopefully 2K16 is a better improvement over WWE 2K15. And I think if they do showcase mode in the next title, I think these rivalries should be in the game. As a WWE fan, they should have The Rock and Triple H. The Rock and Triple H should be in a showcase mode. That alone will sell, because in WWE 13 you didn't play those matches. You played Stone Cold and The Rock, so it's not like you're going back to WWE 13. It's not going to draw away people. It's the same shit as WWE 13. No, they didn't have Rock versus Triple H. I mean, probably one match, but they didn't have like a storyline. But they need to have The Rock versus Triple H. That's one of my picks. My second pick should be a Diva showcase mode. Have a showcase mode with Lita and Trish. Lita and Trish Stratus will be the perfect showcase mode for female wrestling fans that are young, that were probably babies when they were in their prime. Will learn more about women in the WWE, and instead of what they're seeing now, they see how it builds up. Have a showcase mode with 2 of the best WWE divas that ever graced the WWE ring. That will be good. 3, they should have a showcase mode, a tag team showcase mode, like I mentioned before. Rated RKO, Randy Orton and Edge. That was a very good tag team. It would be nice if they implemented in WWE 2K16 as a showcase mode with Randy Orton and John Cena. I mean, Randy Orton and Edge. With Shawn Michaels and Triple H. I think that will be a good rivalry mode, along with other people that were involved in that, in their, tag team reign. And they should also have a showcase mode. A WCW showcase mode, if possible, with Ric Flair and Sting. That will also boost this game. If they did these options, this game will sell perfectly. But I know other people may have other ideas. You can share them. comment, but I think that will be good. I know people saying, oh, we keep going into the past, but you guys got to understand that the only way these games will sell is to have some type of trip down memory lane. These current wrestlers don't really, a lot of people are not familiar with the current roster. You have people who are, but a lot of people aren't. They're gonna say, people already know who Daniel Bryan is, obviously, because he was in Ring of Honor and all that. People know who some of these guys are in the current roster, but a lot of these guys who are fresh out of WWE, they don't know who the hell they are. We don't, people are like, who the hell is this? Who the hell is that? They tried an all-current game with SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, and guess what? It sold horrible. SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 had no legends, no Rock, no Stone Cold, nobody. Nothing but current wrestlers. And that game did horrible in sales because it was too current. People didn't want it because they didn't know who the hell these people were. The only reason why these games sell on top of what they are is because of the legends that are in the game. You can't take them out. You take them out and want more current wrestlers, this game will not sell well. That's why they went back to putting legends in wrestling games. Because in WWE games, because they tried doing that and it failed. And this is back in THQ days. I think this is the reason why 2K15 wasn't the best game, wasn't better than 2K14. Lack of legends. I understand because, the something to do with they pay, like the game do good, they get paid well, and if it doesn't, they don't, their royalty or whatever it is. But the thing is that a lot of fans, a lot of these WWE fanboys that are in the current product, you gotta understand that. And I'm not blaming the wrestlers because obviously it's not their fault. WWE is just different from what it was when I was young watching the Attitude Era. It's very different. It's not like the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era where you had, a lot of action and stuff like that. This, WWE now is trying to be like it was in the 80s, family-friendly product, and you can't do much with these wrestlers, in a family-friendly environment. They gotta be a little goofy, they gotta be a little, kiddie and stuff like that, and that's why people are like, they're not familiar with them. Half of the roster you're familiar with, people are familiar with because of their independent wrestling backgrounds. The rest of them are just like, who the hell are these people? Obviously, I know who all the wrestlers are, but not to some people. You gotta go for all demographics when it comes to these games, not just one, and that's the problem. And I think 2K, we're listening to the fans a bit too much, and that's why this game is shitty, because you got more current wrestlers than legends. Most of the legends were DLC, which was a smart thing to do. Like I said, like marketing wise, they did this. 2K15, the marketing was horrible. They weren't telling people any news at all to the last minute, and that's what kind of bothered a lot of people. The marketing sucked. And that's why this game, was it's just too overhyped. And it seems like they just want a cash grab. But, like I said, I'm not used to these DLC. I never really been in the 7th gen like that. I got my 7th gen console in 2012. I got it 6 years after, I got my PS3 6 years after it came out. I played Xbox 360, my little River Hat one. But other than that, I really did not care for the next gen, because I was, as people know, if you see my page, I'm a rail fan, and I was more focused on rail fanning in that time period between 2006 to 2009, 2010, because they were retiring subway cars, and I had to get covered for that. But that's another topic. But that's the reason why I missed a chunk of it, and plus money, and I just wasn't interested. It just didn't interest me. Even when Grand Theft Auto 4 came out, and I'm a Grand Theft Auto fan. I love Grand Theft Auto. I just didn't want to. It didn't give me that pull. Like, oh, I must get one. I just didn't give a shit. But like I said, the WWE games need to be, I hope this next year's game is better. I hope to see a little bit more legends. And honestly, my favorite, all the wrestling games that came out, between WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 and, SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 to now. All of them, I think WWE 12's roster was the best out of all. I just liked the roster. It just seemed right. You had a big balance you had a lot of current guys, even NXT guys that were televised on TV. When ECW changed to NXT, those type of guys were on that game because of the Nexus. All these wrestlers that were rookies were on WWE 12. With current stars and legends. The roster was good. They had a perfect roster. That was a great roster. I never played the game. I never got into WWE 12 when it first came out. I purchased WWE 12, a few months after I purchased WWE 13. But that roster in WWE 12 is just, it was just good. They did a good job with that, even though the game had a lot of bugs and glitches. But the roster was good. It was just a good roster. WWE 13, I liked the roster too, mainly because it had two other stars, but some of the wrestlers didn't look really. Big Show's, Big Show when he first came to WWF, they didn't do good. He was just too big. He did not look right. He was just too big. They basically used his current body and just slapped hair on him in trunks. And just said, oh, there go Paul Wright. It was just a cheap move, But WWE 13's roster was good, but I think they could have added a little more current wrestlers in it. And like I said, I'm not familiar with current wrestlers like that. I know who these guys are, but I'm more old school. But I still think if you would have a balance of current and legends, you'd have a perfect game because you have more rivalries. You can you do universe mode. You can have these legends go against current or whatever. You can do whatever the hell you want. You have a balance of what you can do. When you have more, like WWE 2K14, the roster was just it was good, but I just shook my head because of duplicates. There's just too many duplicates, and then that's another thing I meant to talk about. Before I go. WWE 2K15 has too many fucking duplicates. That's another fucking problem with these WWE games. They have too many fucking duplicates. 3 Del Rios, 4 Randy Ortons, 3 Sheamuses, almost 4 Mark Henrys. It's stupid. How many more fucking duplicates of the same fucking wrestlers we're gonna have? That doesn't build up a roster. They're basically doing that to take up roster spaces to make it seem like the roster is fucking big, and it's not. It's just same wrestlers, and that's the problem with the games now. It's like you gotta make duplicates of every fucking body. It's not gonna help. People are gonna realize, and that's the problem. That's the point that I was trying to make earlier. It's just I don't understand why we have so many duplicates. Like I understand, like WWE 13, I can understand why they did it. Because everyone had their own different move sets. But some of these guys have the same move sets for the longest, and you sit there and you add duplicates of them. That's not gonna help. It makes it a lot of replay value, and it doesn't have that much replay value. It just doesn't. The game is just blah. Well, it's duplicates. But anyway, that's all I want to say. Hopefully, WWE 2K16 will be a better game. And let's hope they have less duplicates. This is Christopher Henderson from the Super Solar Bros. You can check out our channel. Just search Super Solar Bros. We do Subway reviews. This is my own vlog series. I'm going to be talking about various topics in terms of video gaming and what's going on with Transit World. But This is another word of Chris Henderson based on a WWE game. I didn't do one on 2K14 because I wasn't even interested. It was WrestleMania, so it's nothing. WrestleMania is good, but it's like, for me, it's like, blah, oh well. But, like I said, let's hope that next wrestling game is good. And so far, you know, news-wise, I'm hearing NXT diva Sasha Banks went to get scanned for 2K16. So who knows? She may be in the game or DLC. Who knows? Let's, you know, that'll be a good thing. Having the NXT guys in this game, WWE 2K15 is good. That's another thing I've meant to say, but you know, but I'm not going to talk too long. I said my piece, but in overall, if you want my opinion in which version I prefer, I hate to say it, but the old gen version. The old gen version has more. You have, even though it's stripped down, you still have more things in that version than you can do in the next gen version. I like the next gen version because the gameplay is smooth, but at the same time, the old gen version, you have more options, and that sucks to say that, but you know, it is what it is. But anyway, this is what I have to say. Look forward for another video or me speaking about another series and what I think should be done with it. Till next time, peace out.